first, I want to talk about our new schedule. So it's going to be shorter days. I'm going to present my screen so you guys can see what it looks like. You guys are going to be meeting Tuesdays and Fridays, with Wednesday as kind of like a no school day where you guys can work and pop into tutorial. So the classes are shorter. They're going to be an hour rather than 90 minutes. And they are requiring teachers to meet with you guys for a minimum of 15 minutes. So this is in order for us to take attendance, make sure that you guys know what assignments I'm assigning for the week. So I'll kind of walk you guys through that. And then after I've gone over attendance and everything, introducing the class for the week, you guys can stay and ask questions. So I'll run a little tutorial, or you can leave if you don't have any questions. So I'm not going to require you guys to stay for anything more than a quick introduction and a quick attendance. Okay, so for the Canvas calendar, you guys are going to see your meeting. So this is all my periods, but you guys are going to be 10:45. I'm going to post the link 10 minutes before the period. You're going to pop in. I'm going to take roll, and then you'll be good for the day. Like I did this week, all the assignments are going to be posted on Monday, and they're going to be due on Friday. So that gives you a little more flexibility to get things done early if you want to have more of a free week and more flexibility for the rest of the week. Or you can, if you're really busy, you can kind of put it off until the end of the week. Or if you can't get it done by Friday, I will be closing the assignments by Sunday. So you'll still have the weekend to work on things if you need to. Then let's talk about your final. So this is going to be under your pages, and it's not an actual final, so we're dropping the final test, but we're doing your project. So I'm giving this to you now. It's not going to be presented until, maybe a little over a month from now, but I do want you guys to start working on it, start thinking about what you want to do early, and then by the time the presentation comes, everything should be completed and perfected exactly the way you want it. So you've got a bunch of checkpoints. You're going to get points to meet when you meet all these checkpoints, and then your final itself, your final presentation, and it does have to be a presentation, is going to be 100 points. So it's going to be a significant portion of your grade. You have the option of working in groups for this. So before we get started, I want to talk about the project description. So you can click on that tab and then see exactly what I expect. So you can work up to a group of 3 if you guys decide to work on a video, but if it's like a slideshow or an oral presentation, I want it to be no more than 2 people. I realize videos are more complicated with editing, so you can have 3 people if you're working on a video. I do not want you guys to, if you're working in groups, to meet with each other. So you have to find a way to collaborate remotely. And then, you have options of creating an experiment from home. So I also don't want you guys to go out and buy materials for this project. I want you to find stuff that you already have at home. There's a ton of experiments that you can look up online to do that. And then if it gets too complicated to find experiments, you can focus on a topic, find pictures or videos related to it, and create a slideshow or something like that. So go ahead and look through this. There's a bunch of project ideas, a bunch of criteria as to how you're going to be graded, what I expect with your presentation. Each presentation is going to be about 3 to 4 minutes per person. So the more people you have, the longer I expect it to be, but it doesn't have to be super long. So as you can see, if you're working by yourself and it's 3 minutes, that's totally fine. So checkpoint number 1 is signing up for your Canvas groups. And I already set up groups for this, and it's called Final Project. I have 100 groups set up. So what you want to do is look at this tab. It'll walk you through. You click on the People tab. If you click on Groups, you'll see the Final Project groups. There's going to be 100 of them. And then you are going to click on a group, sign yourself up. If you decide to have group members, you're going to tell them which group you've signed up for, and then you'll be able to sign up to 3 people. And then if you decide to work alone, I still want you to sign up within a group. You're just going to be in a group by yourself. So you need to sign up regardless, whether you're working in a group or not. That's going to be due on Monday. So I want you this weekend to start reaching out to friends, or sign up if you just decide to work by yourself, whatever you think is best. Also, I want you to keep in mind that when you're choosing your groups, you want to make sure that everyone is doing things equitably. So if you want to work with your friends, you have to keep in mind and choose, these friends wisely to make sure that you're not doing all of the work, or that you're not relying on your friend to do all of the work. So I will be keeping you guys accountable to that. The next thing is going to be the project proposal, which is going to be not this Friday, but next Friday. And you're going to fill out a piece of paper. You're going to make a copy of this document. So this is the document you're going to be filling out. You're going to focus on a theme, something that you're interested in or something that you want to build. And then I want you to talk about what physics topics relate to it. So if you choose something like sports, you can have multiple physics topics relating to sports. For example, motion, forces, momentum. There's tons of stuff that can relate just to one topic. So I want you to cover all those different topics, but don't feel obligated to fill in every physics topic that you've learned. So just focus on what really relates to that topic itself. And then here, I want you to right off the bat in the beginning, decide who's going to do what in your group so that everyone has a job and knows what to do, and they're not left, one person's not left doing all the work in the end. So in this tab, you've got a proposal example. So this is a good example that you can look at. I want you to notice that this group added a bunch of topics, but they didn't fill in the last 2. And even if you can't think of maybe 7 topics, if you have 3, that's totally fine. Don't feel obligated to fill in all the tabs. And then here are some example videos that you guys can watch to get some ideas also. Okay. The next checkpoint is to meet with me. Every single person in that group has to be present for this meeting. So again, I don't want one person doing all of the work. And in the same sense, I don't want one person meeting the teacher to talk about the project. This is basically a requirement for me to see that you guys are making progress on your assignment. If you're including some misconceptions or going in the wrong direction, I can guide you early so that you can change things if you need to. And this is just for me to make sure that you guys are doing things correctly so that you can get full credit on this. And then last but not least, you're going to sign up for your presentation day. And then you are also going to let me know kind of what progress you guys have made. So in this last form, you're going to tell me what each person in your group has done. So that's the first question. I want to make sure everyone is accountable. I want you to tell me what still needs to be done so that I know if you guys are putting things off, you've got a lot to do, that you have it all organized. And then what support I can provide you to make sure that you get it all done and get it done well right before your presentation. And then I'm going to have you give me some preferred dates. Last slide, you can look at that early. It is the rubric. So here under final presentation and also down here, you can look at how you're going to be scored to make sure that you, as you're working through the project, you meet the exceed standards point value. And Last but not least, I have provided you guys a resource page that gives you an overview of resources to collaborate remotely. So you can email, you can Zoom, you can use your cell phones, you can share Google Docs. You guys all know that stuff. Ways to present. So video recording through your cell phone, editing tools through YouTube, Screencastify. You can make Google Slides. You can even just go to the Google Meet and present from your home on as a live presentation, which is fine also. Online resources. I hope to see a lot of really creative home experiments. So if you guys want to look up some home experiments, these are a few websites I found. And then you can also just Google search home physics experiments and find stuff that, you know, you already have at home to put something together. I also have some free apps that I've posted here. You can use these apps as like motion sensors. They can measure velocity, temperature, that sort of thing if you wanted to create an experiment at home. And then you also have Physics Lab AR app that basically has lab simulations. And then here at the bottom are video editing tools for those of you guys who are going to create a video. So this weekend, start thinking about whether you want to work in groups or not and reaching out to friends if you decide to work in groups. So that's your one task before this checkpoint, this first checkpoint on Monday.